This is Think Out Loud on OPB. I'm Dave Miller. Stage magic reached its peak in the U.S. in the late 19th and early 20th centuries when illusionists like Harry Houdini fascinated audiences with feats of escapism and levitation and more. It had a real resurgence in the late 20th century when David Copperfield and Penn and Teller and other folks brought their acts to television audiences. But in the age of reality TV stars and social media influencers, illusionists can seem like entertainment relics. So who is still learning magic and doing magic? Who is keeping the craft alive? George Alvarez is the president of the Portland Society of Magicians. Eric Pearson, who lives in Albany, is the founder of the Secret Society, a magic performance group. They both join me now. It's great to have both of you on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
George, how did you first get into magic?
It was about 3 years ago. Come September, it will be my third year practicing magic. And my daughter is 7 now, who was 4 then. And she was speech delayed, a little bit on the spectrum. And I wasn't quite able to explain the universe to her in words yet. And I was looking for a way to connect. And I stopped by our local magic shop in the Lloyd Center and kind of got a book and was thinking that magic might be a good way to connect with her and have moments that were beyond language. And I played with a few things, realized I really liked coin magic, learned a few tricks, started playing with my daughter, and then we had some real moments of connectivity that I didn't need to explain anything to her. I could just show her something, and there was a sharing of wonder and amazement, and then I was hooked ever since.
It's fascinating because, the first line you said is that it's hard sometimes using language to explain how the universe works. To me, the heart of magic is that you're doing something that goes against the way the person who's watching it thinks the universe works. It's a way to – the audience goes there to be tricked, to feel that sense of, wait, what just happened? And she responded to that?
Yeah, because it didn't need narration. It didn't need an explanation. She just was able to participate in the wonder as a spectator. And she was, then she even went on to do a talent show with one of her friends, and they did magic at school,
Cool.
So she's into it. She's getting quite the talent under her belt.
You said it was coins that you gravitated to. Why?
I don't know. I played with some cards and sponge balls and ropes and a few larger props, and I picked up some coins and just held them in my hand and did a few things, and you just know sometimes, when you taste several different things, like on a flight of beer or coffee, and you just know which one is for you. And coins were just an obvious choice for me. So I am a coin-centric specialist magician.
Okay. You do have some coins in front of you on a black felty pad that you brought. Good, because we didn't have a black felt magic pad here in our stable
prepared.
of props. So thank you for bringing that. Hopefully, I'll watch you do something with those coins in just a second. But as I mentioned, Eric Pearson is here as well. How did you first get into magic?
Well, I do, in the world of magic, I go by Sensei Strange.
Sensei Strange.
Yes, because I have a heavy martial arts background. In the 90s, I was about to move to Japan to study martial arts, and I didn't speak Japanese. A friend of mine went to a magic shop and came in. He put a red silk in his hand, and it vanished. And that moment of wonder, I was like, well, I don't speak enough language, but if I can go to Japan and give people that gift of wonder, it's a way to connect with folks, and I thought it would be a fun way to play beyond language.
It's an amazingly similar story. Different things were going on in your lives, but sort of beautifully similar to George.
Yeah, I think magic essentially is about connection.
Okay, so you learned a trick or two before you went to Japan?
Yes.
What was the trick?
I learned, I got into finger ring magic, and then I got into crystal ball manipulation, similar to like you saw David Bowie do in the movie Labyrinth. And between those two, I kind of limped along, a few little rubber band tricks, limped along at some Japanese drinking parties, and slowly grew up a repertoire and started performing at shows in izakayas and Japanese drinking establishments. And
Did it work? Your first idea, I don't speak Japanese, I'm going to be in Japan and I want to connect with people. I'll use magic as a way to do that. Did that work?
Hit and miss. Like any human endeavor, it has successes and failures.
How did you, as George was saying, it was sort of, there's something maybe hard to put your finger on about why you get attracted to certain kinds of magic. But where have you found yourself gravitating to?
I run groups of people. I throw events. And so for me, it's almost going from here's a trick to crafting experiences where I'm trying to draw people in. We have a full evening together where I'm bringing both magicians and patrons together to have a experience, and so it goes beyond a single trick and is trying to build connection between performer and audience. And also, since I'm running a cadre of magicians, we're making connections between each other as well, so we can try to grow this performance art in the Valley.
All right, so George, you have three. Apologies in advance to our radio audience, which is to say our entire audience, our audio-only audience, because this is probably a very visual thing you're about to do. But I will do my best. Or Eric, maybe do you want to be the narrator as we go? We can do this together.
I would love to.
All right. So George, what do you have for us?
Okay, it's a pretty simple trick. One of the first ones I learned as a magician. And basically, you have 3 coins here. So if I take 2 coins and I put it in my hand, and I take 1 coin and I put it in my pocket.
All right. So you got 2 coins in your left hand. You just put the other one, they're bigger. They're like
Morgan silver dollars.
They're what are they called?
Morgan silver dollars.
Morgan silver dollars. Okay. So large silver coins. One is in your pocket. All right.
But then since I'm a magician, there's always going to be 3 coins in the hand.
Okay, all right. So now there were 3 somehow in the hand that you put 2 in.
Right. So now again, I'm using the same 2 coins. So if I take again 2 coins into the left hand, 1 coin into my back pocket. So now what have we learned? There should be 2, but because I'm a magician, there's always going to be 3 coins in the hand. Now I know my magician friends, they know me, and they know that on my left hand, I can show you, there's a small hole right there. And so they don't know how I'm getting the coin out of my pocket, but they know once I do, it's simply just going through the hand. So I'll use my right hand.
Wait, just now, if you don't mind pausing, you put a coin on the top of your hand, seemingly pushed it through, and then a coin fell from the bottom of your palm.
That's what I saw as well.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about what you saw in just a second, because I'm fascinated by what a magician sees when a fellow magician is performing. Okay, so but back to the tricks.
Put 2 coins in my right hand, which does not have the secret hole, and I'll put this one away as far as I possibly can.
You're putting a coin in your chest pocket.
Chest pocket. But what have we learned? Since I'm a magician, there should be 2. But there's always going to be 3.
Somehow, always. You grab 2 and 3 come out every time.
Now, an older magician came up to me. I turned 50 in April, so now I'm technically an older magician. He says, let me show you how the older magicians do it. And he was a little bit more flashy. He would wave his arms around and be like, look, 1 in the hand, 2 in the hand, and then take the 3rd coin and put it so far back in your pocket that it can't possibly get out. But what have we learned? Since I'm a magician, there should be 2, but there's going to be 3. But if you're an old magician, there's nothing.
And all the coins have vanished. Yeah.
No more coins came out, even though I watched you, and I'm 3 feet away from you. You put 2 coins in your hand the last time, and none came out. Not 3, not 2, not 1, but 0. Let me just first remind folks, if you're just tuning in, I'm talking right now with George Alvarez and Eric Pearson. They are both Oregon musicians. George is the president of the Portland Society of Magicians. Eric is the founder of the Secret Society. That is a magic performance group. Eric, I'm not going to ask you to tell the secrets of what George did, but I'm curious what you pay attention to when you see a magician doing tricks. Let's say that you know how he did this, what's going on. What are you watching? What are you appreciating in a fellow magician's act?
The spell that they weave. I like the words that are used. I like to watch the person that they're performing for a lot of times. So I was watching you, your eyes, your reactions. I've seen enough coin magic to fulfill me for 3 or 4 lifetimes. But I like to see a lot of effects through your eyes, somebody that perhaps is not inundated with magic every day.
Do you, when you see someone do a trick that you haven't seen before, what's your experience? When you don't know how something is being done. What's your experience of that magic?
And for me, that's actually most magic. I don't study coin magic. I don't study all these things because I enjoy that feeling of wonder and mystery that comes with it. So I haven't tried to. I'm not an engineer that needs to spoil this all for myself. I love watching it. I love that feeling of wonder. So yeah, I try to not learn too much.
Because you like that feeling.
Indeed.
And that's part of what drew you to this in the first place.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. That's what's really unique about magic, because most arts can show you something beautiful. They can bring you through an adventure and a ride. However, magic is unique because it directly confronts you with the impossible. And there's a certain emotional response when you see something that is impossible. It's awe. It's unique. And that's the one thing that magicians are. We're kind of we're preachers of possibility and purveyors of fine impossibilities.
Do you get the sense, George, that we're more drawn to that now when there's sometimes it feels like there's less wonder in the world?
Right, and there's also a lot of deception in the world. Like, there's basically two major forms of what we would consider good deception. You see it in sports, and you see it in magic, where the object of one team is to obfuscate what they're doing so the other team can't figure it out. That's part of the strategy, is being deceitful
Sneaky.
to the other team and sneaky. And so magic is the same kind of way, but it's to the ends of entertainment and wonder and awe and having a moment. It's like, whereas most other deception is not. And a lot of it's targeted at us on the internet, or we're getting it from our politicians, or, from other people. So it's nice. It's kind of a good flavor of something that normally we find quite distasteful.
Eric, the tagline of your group, the Secret Society, is magicians, mentalists, manipulation, mischief. What's manipulation?
Well, manipulation, as far as magic tends to go, it's like the magician that has cards, that is pulling cards out of the air. This is manipulation magic. What I would do with the crystal balls, moving them around so it looks like they're levitating. This is manipulation, but also, in any particular magic event, we are manipulating your perceptions. And that is really, is magic real? I believe it is. And what are we doing? We're manipulating what you see and what you feel sometimes in order to create this sense of awe. And so,
George, as Eric said, one of the things he was paying attention to, in addition to where my eyes were, was your patter, in a sense, your performance separate from the whatever magic you're doing with your fingers that made the coins go everywhere where I thought they weren't. How important is that performative aspect to magic, in addition to the pure physical craft of crafty fingers?
It's almost an 80-20 split between the performative nature and the actual physical technique. So showmanship is a big part of any kind of performative art, whether you're a juggler, a comedian, anyone who's on stage, especially talking and interacting and making relationships with the audience. To be a good performer is so important. Yes, you have to have good technique, but how you couch that technique and the patter and the interactions and getting the participant involved, like there's so much craft of working with your audience that without that, magic alone is almost maybe good for a TikTok short, but that's about as far as it can go. Like if you want to interact with other human beings, you need to be an entertainer.
Eric, how is the business of magic these days for performers?
I would say that's probably like any business. It depends on your situation. I have found in the Willamette Valley, Lebanon, Eugene, Albany, that I've kind of inhabit, all the bars and restaurants and breweries that I've been working at have basically all complained that business is just kind of crashed since post-COVID. And so we have all these venues, and we've been, trying to advertise and get people going out again. And a lot of times we're, very small shows of, between 5 and 10.
But you're saying that's not necessarily just because of magic. It's because people aren't going out, and if they're not going out, they're not going to go out for anything, and then magic could suffer as a result.
That's my experience in the smaller towns.
George, I have heard, though, just today in the building, I heard from 2 different Gen Z folks who said that they recently have either hired or been to birthday parties for people in their 20s where magicians were hired. We're not talking about kids' birthday parties. We're talking about young adults. Have you seen a resurgence among younger people in magic?
Yes, absolutely. One of my responsibilities and duties as the president of the Portland Society of Magicians is to be an ambassador to magic, to grow it, to recruit more magicians, because if you don't make young magicians, you're going to run out of old magicians, and then you're just going to run out of magicians. And our website, which is just simple portlandsocietyofmagicians.com, we have forms there where people can hire a magician or inquire about joining the club. And just in the last 2 years, I've seen it go from 7 or 8 requests a month to 15 to 20 requests a month. So as we make it more available as an entertainment venue for your event or for your bar or little pop-up shows, we're starting to see more people be like, oh, yeah, I would like to have a magician at my wedding or at the bachelorette party or at a birthday party. So I do think it does seem to be on the rise as an option of entertainment for people doing private events. And I see this as direct evidence in the increased number of bookings that we get just through our website alone.
George Alvarez and Eric Pearson, thank you so much.
Could I plug one thing?
You got 15 seconds.
Okay, All American Magic Theater is having its final shows at the Lloyd Center August 7th and 8th. Go to All American Magic Theater website to see ticket information. Thanks.
And the end of the Lloyd Center
Yes.
is nearly upon us.
The final shows.
George Alvarez is the president of the Portland Society of Magicians. Eric Pearson, founder of the Secret Society. It's a magic performance group. Tomorrow on the show, on August 6, 1945, the U.S. dropped the first atomic bomb on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. It killed an estimated 140,000 people. Several years ago, the seeds of trees that survived that blast were harvested and brought to Oregon. 55 trees from those seeds are now growing in communities around the state. We'll hear about the effort from the director of the film Seeds of Peace. If you don't want to miss any of our shows, you can listen wherever you get your podcasts. Our nightly rebroadcast is at 8 p.m. Thanks very much for tuning in to Think Out Loud on OPB and KLCC. I'm Dave Miller. We'll be back tomorrow.
Think Out Loud is supported by Steve and Jan Oliva, the Rose E. Tucker Charitable Trust, Michael, Kristen, Andrew Kern, and Anna Sanford, and the Jackson Foundation.